It is not selfish to care for yourself. It's selfish if you only care for yourself. 10 ways confident people show manipulators that they are not their next target according to psychology. Let's talk about it. So manipulators and getting manipulated is something we talk about a lot on this channel. And we talk about how manipulators look for specific type of traits and people that they can target. And so we're gonna talk about some of these traits, some of these things that confident people do, why they're never or less likely to be a target. One of the first ways is confident people trust their intuition. So intuition is something that's in your gut. It's a gut instinct. And when something feels off, you'll feel this like gnawing, something's off, something doesn't feel right. It's not fear, anxiety, or insecurity. You're not afraid of something happening, you just feel off about something. Or when something feels right, you'll feel this good, positive feeling in your stomach, like this feels right. And confident people listen to that feeling very often, and it rarely ever steers anyone wrong, but especially confident people, because they listen to it more often. The more you listen to that intuition and that gut instinct, the stronger it will be. If you struggle with your gut instinct and your intuition, that means that you don't listen to it often, and it may feel like a dim feeling, but you will get those sensations, but they're not as strong as they are when you're confident in your intuition. And what intuition is, and I have a whole video on intuition versus insecurity, which I will leave right here, but it's basically where it's something in your subconscious, and it has to do with more of your logic and reasoning of you've either dealt with something similar before, or you've been taught something, or something along those lines, and it's not in your conscious mind, but it's in your subconscious and unconscious mind. You just can't, it's not coming to the surface, but you know that there's something off about this thing because you've learned or you've experienced it. And confident people listen to these instincts even if there's no obvious signs, like there's no clear like, oh, this is bad, this is wrong. They just listen to that gut feeling. They listen to their intuition instead of a person's words. It's more so looking at the person's actions that will make them feel uncomfortable, or even maybe something they say, the way they word it, or after they have an interaction with the person, the way that person makes them feel, they'll listen to that. So times that a confident person will listen to their intuition is when actions don't match words, like I had said, or if a manipulative person is prying and trying to ask too many personal or unnecessary questions. Confident people really understand the value of listening to their own feelings and their intuition. When you're confident in yourself, when you listen to these feelings, you can spot red flags early on and take the appropriate actions to prevent any harm or damage. The next one is they maintain firm boundaries. Boundaries are here to keep us safe, and they give us a sense of control. It's enforcing what you will and you won't tolerate to others. Manipulators have many different tactics, like guilting, shaming, pushing someone for information, persuading, deflecting conversation. Confident people don't let these tactics sway them. Confident people have consistent boundaries they enforce. They recognize manipulative tactics early on, and they then stand firm in their boundaries. When people set firm boundaries, manipulators will try to instill guilt, or that the other person is wrong, or that they're selfish for doing so. But when you're confident, you stand strong in your boundaries. Like there's no breaking it. Like there's a trust with yourself, there's boundaries within yourself, and that you enforce, and you stand firm on them, and no one can sway you any type of way. Unless you trust another person and you really can see their point of view, then maybe, but you don't trust a manipulator. You know early on like something's off, so then you stay firm in those boundaries and you don't sway. The next one confident people do is they practice emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is when you detach from other people's emotions and reactions to things. It can be helpful when you're trying to remove yourself from drama, anxiety, or stress. People can misunderstand emotional detachment for they don't care about the other person or their feelings or the situation, or they feel indifferent towards it, but you can't control how you feel. It's not about that. It's about just detaching and having no emotional response or reaction to the situation or to the person or their emotions. Now, when it comes to manipulators, they try to use others' emotions as a way to take advantage, or they see it as a way to manipulate others. They use the other person's emotions for their own gain. So one of their tactics maybe is to make you feel good and validated and wanted. And then they will use that to their advantage by, since you like them, now they can like victimize themselves and they can get sympathy and support from you. They can get you on their side. They can make you feel bad for them or make you feel bad in general. Like, oh, like I'm so nice to you. Why are you being mean to me, not doing this thing for me? They may guilt you or they may sway you with this. When you're confident in yourself, you don't take on those emotions or fall into that trap. And you use your own judgment. You can take a step back and view the situation objectively without getting wrapped up in all the emotions. When you regulate your own emotional response, you can prevent the manipulator from getting under your skin. You also are more likely to maintain control of your own feelings and actions by emotionally detaching. So emotional detachment is good in certain situations, it's negative in other situations, but you want that emotional detachment from things that are unhealthy for you, like other people that are trying to suck you dry. The next thing is confident people have a sense of humor and a lighthearted approach to things. So it's important to be serious in certain manners. Like when you're in a work meeting, like there's got to be a level of professionalism, seriousness. Certain situations, going to a funeral, whatever, like there's obviously needs to be a seriousness. But in not all circumstances need that seriousness, especially when it comes to yourself and making fun of yourself. So people don't like bullying other people that don't take themselves too seriously or are very lighthearted about situations and can laugh at themselves. They don't like bullying people that they can't get a reaction out of. If you make fun of yourself, then a manipulator has no ammo. It also helps to keep stress down and you don't get involved in unnecessary drama. Things are less likely to bother you as well, which manipulators, they like to get under people's skin. Like I said, they like to bother them, get reactions out of them, but you're unbothered. You're not untouchable, but it can feel that way because they'll keep trying to do things and it's just kind of like the bullets are flying off of you because you're just making fun of yourself and you have all the jokes. And it also can help you stay resilient as well. The next thing is confident people communicate clearly and effectively and with sharing limited personal information. One of a manipulator's major tactic is to get their victim to become vulnerable and open up. This is so they can see their weak spots and it's easier to manipulate them based on, this person struggles with a lot of guilt. Okay, I'm gonna guilt trip them. Oh, they have a lot of compassion. I'm gonna always play the victim card. They know which tactic to play based on your weak spots. They also can sense an unconfidence about the person they victimize. So then they're like, okay, this is an easy target. I can easily gaslight them. I can easily persuade their point of view. Now, if you are consistent with your speech, you are direct, you are assertive, and you directly express your thoughts, then it leaves little room for misinterpretation. And it leaves little room for them to confuse you or to twist the things you said. Because you know what you said. You were very assertive, confident with what you said. You were very direct. Confident people also make sure that they're understood. Like they may have the person repeat back what they said, or they will be like, is there any questions? They may repeat what they're saying, so that way the other person knows, like, hey, I mean business, and they follow through. A confident person follows through, and the manipulator will feel threatened by that. The next one is don't emotionally react, and instead respond with kindness. So manipulators, like I said, they like to play games. They have all these tactics, and it's easy to get frustrated or angry or stressed by a manipulator, and that's what most of us would want to do. But when you're confident, because you feel firm in what you believe and what you say and how you feel, you don't feel the need to show that anger. Because you can still be confident and be angry, but you don't feel the need to show that anger because you understand what's going on. Instead, you will express, you'll feel those emotions, but you will instead express kindness and understanding. When you're confident, you can acknowledge a manipulator's perspective, because at the end of the day, they're still human. They still have a perspective. We can't go gaslighting someone just because we have different perspectives. Even if they're the one that's gaslighting, this is their perspective and we have our own perspective. So a confident person will acknowledge a manipulator's perspective, but also a confident person will also express their perspective as well. And they will do this without dismissing a manipulator's perspective. When you can see another person's side and acknowledge, even if you find small areas you can acknowledge, that shows intelligence of understanding other people's emotion. This will completely disarm the manipulator, as it's very unexpected and they don't know what to do with this, because usually they're used to some sort of fight, or they're used to someone, cowering down to them. Instead, they're met with someone that's confident in what they're saying, and they're also saying, hey, I can see why you feel this way. And they're like, I don't know how to reply to this. And so they back down. The next one is they offer compassion and not compliance. So instead of fighting with a manipulator, a confident person's able to express some sort of sympathy or empathy and be like, wow, this person must be hurting so bad to have to behave this way. They can see this person has a lot of fears and insecurities, and that's why they have this behavior, and they see them for what they're really feeling, but they're not expressing. However, you can empathize and sympathize with someone without complying to their demands, and they don't allow themselves to be controlled, even though they can feel for this person. So you can feel for someone without giving that compassion of wanting to help them or do exactly as they say. It's really hard, but they're confident people are able to have that healthy balance of like, I feel for you, but I'm not going to give in to your BS. The next one is they accept their vulnerabilities. So when you're confident, it's not a matter of just being like, I'm good at this and I'm a strong person and blah blah. No, like there's also that acceptance of, I have vulnerabilities and I have weaknesses too, and these are my weak spots. And a confident person is able to admit that, but they don't admit that to other people necessarily. They admit them to themselves and maybe trusted ones. The only way to overcome your vulnerabilities or your weaknesses is to admit that they're there and that you have them, and have an understanding that you're not going to maybe necessarily 100% overcome them, but there are going to be things that you always kind of struggle with, and they're there, and there are going to be hurdles that you're going to have to, go against. So when you accept and understand your vulnerabilities, it lessens the chances of manipulators using them as a leverage against you. Other people can exploit your weaknesses if you already are aware of your weaknesses and you own them and you know about them. No one can hurt you with those things because you're like, I have that. And it's really important for being aware of yourself and knowing these are the things that are a part of me, and I accept this. Maybe I don't like it, but I accept that I have this. The second to last one, confident people are not afraid to walk away. Some people will say that walking away can be a sign of immaturity, but when it comes to being around manipulative people or people that are not an importance in someone's life, you can walk away and not go on with those conversations. It's when someone matters to you where if you walk away from a conversation, you do need to come back and have that conversation. But not every person is worth a conversation. You have to pick and choose your battles. It is not weak or callous of someone to walk away from something that is unhealthy for them. A confident person cares more about their peace of mind than winning a fight and stroking their own ego. It's self-preservation. You care more about your well-being, and sometimes that is the best response, and confident people understand that the best response sometimes is to just walk away, because there's no reason or there's no value in arguing with this person or even telling them off or sharing how that person makes them feel, because it's not always helpful to tell other people how they made you feel. It's only important for people that matter to you. But if it's a manipulative person, you don't want them to know your vulnerabilities, because they will just try to use that to their advantage. Whether you're confident or not, you keep those things close to you and you don't share them with everyone, only the people that have earned it. And this is not always easy. A confident person doesn't mean that you're just stone cold and you always make the right decisions. It's just that you put it on a scale and you weigh out, like, hey, this matters more to walk away from the situation, even if it's hard and it's difficult and I want to fight this person. Self-preservation takes over. And the last one is they always prioritize self-care. Having a good mental space is something confident people know is one of the top priorities and one of the most important things, because you can't be emotionally strong, you can't feel good about yourself, you can't do all these things unless you're taking care of yourself. So confident people prioritize eating well, maybe exercising, meditating, deep breathing, checking in with themselves, doing all those things to instill and make sure I'm good before I have to deal with these difficult situations. It is not selfish to care for yourself. It's selfish if you only care for yourself. So understand, dealing with a manipulative person is not easy. It's so difficult. They push your buttons. They've been around the block. They know how to, get under people's skin. So it's not easy. And confident people, they don't think it's an easy task to deal with. Like I said, at the end of the day, we all have emotions. And confident people also understand they can't change a manipulative person's behavior, and that's not their goal or their job. They understand that they have control over themselves, and that's the only person they want to focus on controlling, and how they speak and their actions and their behaviors. And they don't care to cater to this person because it does not benefit them. So understand, no matter what, you are not fault for a manipulator's behavior or their actions or what they say. That's all on them. How other people treat you does not determine your self-worth. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, why did I just do that? Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. All right, I'm done. I'm coming for you. My baby's not by themselves, by the way. They're with their dad. What's the word? What do we get from them? Are you saying who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? I love you. Now I'm gonna have like a whole minute of doing nothing. One of a major manipulative. Oh, sorry. That was me. I thought that was the neighbors.